So, guys, I want to talk about what's called the most powerful and important discovery and tool in chemistry. And I don't want you guys to underestimate. I think most people do really underestimate the significance, the importance, and the power of the knowledge in the periodic table of elements system. Most people, although the periodic table of elements system is called a universal language of science, this is a quote, the most powerful and important discovery and tool in chemistry is not something that I made up. This is echoed over and over and over again by chemists around the world. So it's not a secret how important and influential and powerful this knowledge is, but most people, for whatever reason, just have not learned this information. They can't use it, they can't really read it, they can't make accurate predictions about matter with it, and that's what it does. It's literally like a cheat sheet to learning chemistry and also quantum mechanics. So this cannot be, its power and significance and importance cannot be understated. If you look at 2019 was actually supposed to be the United Nations declared it the International Union, or the International Year of the Periodic Table of Elements, for the 150-year anniversary of its discovery by Dmitry Mendeleev, a Russian chemist, in 1869. And if you look at the year that the periodic law, which is the basis for the periodic table of elements, the year that it was discovered by Dmitry Mendeleev, directly preceding that discovery was the Second Industrial Revolution, and a giant explosion in technologies, and also it changed patent law, where you could begin to patent molecules. And then it gave chemists this reference that allowed them to quickly obtain a ton of useful and element information just by glancing at the position of the elements in this table. Dmitry Mendeleev's genius was that he left empty spots in his periodic table for undiscovered elements, and he actually was able to make accurate predictions about elements that had not even been discovered yet. So this discovery revolutionized chemistry, and chemistry is called the central science. So when people think of chemistry, I think a lot of times they think of like working in a lab with a white coat on and goggles and mixing potions, but in fact chemistry touches every aspect of our lives. Everything that you can touch, taste, hear, smell, and see is made up of elements which are undergoing this process of mixing and unmixing, which is chemistry. So regardless of what you do, you're going to be impacted by chemistry somehow. So everything is made up of elements, and all the elements are in this system in a way that provides an enormous amount of useful information about them, so you can make educated decisions about the products that you consume. And then on another level, it helps to make the technologies that we depend on, and helps make the medicines that we rely on. So the power, it's all chemistry, right? Our energy, the clean energy, is all chemistry. So this information is extremely important. This is, the most powerful and important discovery and tool in chemistry. And if you can't read and use this, you're going to be way behind those who can, right? I mean, at least in terms of scientific literacy, if you don't understand this system and don't have a deep understanding of the elements, you're going to be in some way at the mercy of those who do, because you're going to have to take it on blind faith that the chemicals in your food, in your medicines, the way that the way you get your power, you have to take it on blind faith that these people are giving you products that are healthy for you instead of detrimental to you and just for their own profit and gain. So again, this is extremely important, and I can't overstate how important this knowledge is, especially in times like now, where science is being used as the driving force behind policy decisions and behind taking away people's freedoms, behind wearing masks, behind these vaccines that are experimental. So, our citizens must increase their scientific literacy. And I know when you hear the periodic table, you might get a sick feeling in your stomach, and your eyes might start to gloss over, but bear with me here, okay? I'm telling you, the periodic table of elements has not been taught to you in a way that is accurate, in a way that is easy to follow and learn and understand, and it's a disservice, because there is a way to teach this information in a way that makes sense, that's easy to follow, and it's all in the system. Now, if you notice on the standard periodic table, the periodic table that everybody is most familiar with is this here, right? This arrangement here. And if you notice, there's actually elements underneath here that are out of order. They're in their incorrect position, and they're not included in the numbering system. Now, let me back up a second. So, the periodic table of elements gets its predictive power based on the order, the arrangement, and the location of elements. Okay, so the predictive power of this system is based on where the elements fall in the system. And they have placed 30 elements out of order for the unscientific reason to save paper space. Now, some chemists even have tried to argue and debate with me on this point, where they're actually arguing to keep it as an inaccurate and broken system when the science and the data actually shows different. So if you're a scientist and you're arguing for an inaccurate reflection and an incomplete and inaccurate numbering system, you need to look in the mirror, take a hard, long look in the mirror, and try to determine your motives, because in science it's supposed to be all about the data and truth. And if you're arguing for an incorrect, inaccurate reflection of the most powerful and important discovery and tool in chemistry, I would argue that you don't belong teaching chemistry. You don't belong teaching science, because our science teachers must be all about teaching the empirical data and the truth, not outdated traditions, not unscientific traditions. And that's exactly what's happening here. These elements are placed out of order to save paper space, which is an unscientific, outdated tradition. We barely even use books and paper anymore. It's all about widescreen tablets, widescreen phone monitors, widescreen TV monitors, widescreen computer monitors. So now is the perfect time to abandon that outdated tradition of placing elements out of order and excluding them from the numbering system, to introduce the true arrangement of the elements, the true wide periodic table as the standard. This should be the arrangement that is in all our textbooks. This should be the arrangement that is distributed. And you can find this, if you notice up here, this is the wide reflection of the periodic table of elements. I found this online. You have to kind of search for this specifically to find one to purchase. You'll find, at least 1,000 of the broken periodic table to one of the wide arrangement. But if you'll notice, even this, the numbering system is incomplete. It goes 1, 2, skip a few, and then it comes back here 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way to 18. But these are excluded again from the numbering system. So, and then this numbering system is actually inaccurate. It doesn't correspond to any useful and accurate element information. So this must be fixed, and once it's fixed, it makes learning this information, it makes learning the most powerful and important discovery and tool in chemistry far easier, and really it's no more difficult than simple counting. It's a little bit more difficult than simple counting because you have to count a few different things at the same time. But the system that I'm proposing is called the Genesis system of atoms, and it is the only periodic table system that has a complete and accurate numbering system for all the elements, and it also provides more useful, accurate, and complete element data than any other periodic table system currently available. And this is not my belief, this is not my opinion, this is a fact that can be verified through experiment. You can verify this by simply comparing the standard periodic table versus the Genesis periodic table, and then counting and listing the number of useful, accurate, and complete element data points. And you will find that the Genesis periodic system provides far more accurate, useful, and complete element information than the standard. So this must be addressed, and this is the key, guys. This is like literally a cheat sheet to learning chemistry and quantum mechanics. By the way, chemists have the lowest unemployment rate of any field of scientist. So important to know your chemistry. Chemistry is that foundational science. So if you don't understand chemistry and have a basic grasp of chemistry, you're not going to be able to work in any of the other fields of science. And not just science either. This carries over to everything, because again, everything is made of atoms, everything is made of elements, and the interactions is that chemistry. And if you understand this system and understand this information, you're going to look at the universe, you're going to look at the world, you're going to look at reality in a completely new light. So I'm going to go through this in a series of videos. It shouldn't take more than a few videos for you guys to get a deep understanding of this Genesis periodic table of elements system. And what normally takes years using the standard method, I'm going to teach you what takes years and many thousands of dollars, many tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to school for chemistry. I'm going to teach you in a series of videos for free. So just because I think this information is so important and so influential, and the more that we can get people on the same page and scientifically literate, the harder it's going to be to take away our freedoms. The harder it's going to be to manipulate people and exploit people. We must have a society of scientifically literate people in order to secure our freedoms. So I'm going to keep this video a little bit shorter, but keep an eye out for my future videos. I hope you guys found this interesting and informative. Have a great day. God bless.